extra set of trusted ears to help keep the vision aligned, keep everything on track. Um, People to create situations so you don't always have to be, like you going in court representing yourself. You need a mouthpiece, speak for you. And you come in and you show up and show out. But at the same time, it's like you got to keep some form of that, like, I'm by myself mindset. Like, you can't get a label situation or get a management team, whatever the case, and then get lazy or feel like now I can just do music. No, you gotta still
stay on point, stay focused.
You gotta work for yourself.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Jay. I got another special guest in the building. I'm gonna allow him to introduce himself.
Hey, it's Rufus Sims. How you feeling?
I can't complain, bro. I can't complain. How you feeling?
Man, I can't complain either. I'm blessed.
Man, I appreciate you for sliding on me on a Sunday, bro.
Oh yeah, it's all good. I had to.
Man, how you feel? Oh, you just said how you was feeling, man.
Man, I'm more than blessed. I'm feeling motivated, determined. Things moving. I'm just trying to live up to the opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
Rise to the occasion.
All right, I usually start off asking people where they from. You feel me?
I'm from the west side of Chicago, Capitol Hill area, Parkside and Adams. And then from there, I moved to Bellwood. And that's pretty much, I frequented, did I say that right?
Yeah.
From Bellwood and Maywood to out west. To a certain part of out west, to Laramie or something.
So what was it like growing up both in Bellwood and out west? Because technically Bellwood is like a west suburb, right?
For sure.
Yeah, so what was it like growing up in both those areas?
I don't know. It probably made me a little more cultured. It gave me a certain perspective on things, like just as a young man growing up. What was around me was a lot of people hustling, so I took to hustling. Out west at the time, it was set up a certain way, and there was a lot of block hustling going on. And just to me, I did it at the time, but as soon as I had enough money, you know what I'm saying, I moved a different way. And it was like certain things that I learned in the suburbs that's how they was already moving. Like, you know what I'm saying, they was already moving. As far as hustling goes, just call me, I pull up on you. You know what I'm saying, opposed to standing out in the open. So I think it just little stuff like that made me a little more cultured.
And it kind of elevated the hustle a little bit.
Yeah, and the way my perspective, the way I looked at things.
What would you say sparked that change, or was you just an observant person to the point where you was like, man, that looked like just a better, smarter way to do things?
I was always an observant person, and I was never really a person that was getting in trouble early on in life. But I just saw a way I thought I saw a way that I could manipulate the hustle. So I kind of got into it, but just in my mind state, doing anything out in the open like that is just not a good look. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So growing up, was you under one of those acts where it was like, fuck a job, you feel me? I'm gonna figure this shit out on my own?
Nah, I would work a job too. I've always been like that. Sometimes I might do a little bit of both, or sometimes I might work a job for a little bit. Excuse me. And until the hustle pick up, I was selling clothes. It's just you gotta have multiple streams of income these days.
When you was in your hustle, did you view yourself as a young entrepreneur? Because nowadays it's champion to be an entrepreneur. You feel me? But technically, the hustlers was the first entrepreneurs that we ever really got a chance to see.
Yeah, I think I wish early on I would have looked at it from that perspective, just the whole entrepreneurial aspect, and just, you know what I'm saying, I think with hustling you should have goals. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you just loosely doing anything and don't have goals, you know what I'm saying, something bound to go wrong sooner or later.
Yeah, that's a fact, and that's regardless of anything in life. And I appreciate you for saying that, because a lot of people be out here moving and they think they got motion, you know what I'm saying? But you moving at 100 miles an hour, but you don't really got no structure, no game plan. You don't even got a foresight to see what you trying to actually achieve, you feel
So
me? So that was just real.
you got to really be able to look at all situations from multiple angles, you know what I'm saying? Not just the current position you in, you know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a lot of cats out here that like, you know what I'm saying, they going so hard in the streets that they like a brand name to the streets. But even like the whole YSL thing, if you a brand name in the streets, then you know you a brand name to the police too.
Facts.
So I think, you know what I'm saying, good hustles, bad hustles, whatever it is just thorns and roses to it. So you have to have a balance on what you're doing and how long you plan to be doing a certain thing before you elevate to a certain level.
Facts. So outside of the hustling, what were some other things that you was into?
Sports, reading, sports, women. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what was your favorite book growing up?
What was it? It was the Maya Angelou books I was into. What was it? The code. It was like the coldest one ever series.
Yeah.
But it was like I think they had Midnight. It was a couple joints. Then it was like I like self-help books. I like Rich Dad Poor Dad. I liked what was the other joint I liked? Think and Grow Rich. I think it's
I
called.
fuck with Think and Grow Rich.
Of course, 48 Laws. The whole like Robert Greene series. It was a lot of books I was into. I read the Nas book, a couple Jay-Z books. Any like entrepreneur or like hip hop artist that had a book, I was into it.
What would you say is a lesson you learned from a book that you still carry with you to today?
A lesson I learned from a book that I still carry with today. That I read in the book one time that truth never flourishes out of season.
And what about that stuck with you?
It's just like it's a time and place for everything. It's a time to present something. It's a time for something to be said.
Facts.
And if not at the proper time, it might be taken out of context.
Facts. So at what point did you get into the music, or was that something that was like always in you?
It was just crazy. It was just always around. It was I think when I was real young, me and my homies just be freestyling and we started recording ourselves. And by the time I was in high school, somebody had heard some of our music, put us in the studio. And then just from there, we got our own equipment, started recording ourselves. I ended up getting in some trouble outside, got locked up, came back home motivated. And just when I was locked up, I wrote a lot, grew as an artist. And once I started recording a lot of songs, and really having my own sound and my own story, I started searching for my music to sound a certain quality. Then I started going to Columbia just to learn more about the industry, the music business, marketing. And then from there, I found Studio Steve. And then I really, I would say then, started becoming like a professional artist.
How was it? What was it like going to Columbia? Because I feel like a lot of people don't understand the importance of going to college or seeking a higher education for the point of, like you said, just meeting people. You feel me?
And just leveling the playing field a little bit. Just, you know what I'm saying? You can cut years off your grind at Columbia. Just, you know what I'm saying, if you're receptive. They stress networking there, like heavy. They told you as soon as you came in there in one of my classes, it was called The Art and Business of Recording. And they basically were like, if you don't love or have a passion for what you do, as far as whatever your craft is in the arts, then you should leave now because a job isn't guaranteed. And most of y'all in here ain't gonna be artists or whatever the case may be. So I just learned really the networking there, and I learned like basic fundamental things. You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely all type of different crowds in there. It definitely opened me up in a different way because I was only used to like certain things like the street, the people that was making noise in the street.
All right.
Once I got in Columbia, I started seeing the hipster side and the blog side of things, and just how things were transitioning from the streets to just like purely online.
So it made you understand that it was more than just about making the music.
Absolutely. At the gate, like that was one of the first things. I'm like, it ain't, just making music. It's the way you move. It's what you have behind the music. You know what I'm saying? What type of machine you working out of.
So at what point would you say you realize like, man, I'm pretty good at this shit?
I think I had came home from jail one time, and I just had so many songs, and I already had a system to record them real fast, and I just was knocking them out. I already had certain things going on the scene, so I just like jumped back in the mix, and I think I knew then just how receptive people had started becoming to my music, because at first it was people like in the here and there in my neighborhood, but at this point it was like the whole neighborhood was receptive.
Now you been I would say big on the Chicago music scene for a minute now. So you done seen the every wave that done came through from the drill, you feel me, to this current state that Chicago is in. So what would you say has been the biggest change since you first started up until now?
How defined the lanes have become. Like how J. Cole be like he middle child. It's like I seen the drill era come, but I was rapping before that when it was just kind of like, it was a certain style of how rappers was coming and how they were making their songs, and a certain hip hop element or whatever, but then music switched over. So it's like these days I feel like all those worlds still exist. It's like new worlds were created, and some of them might have even became the most popular form of hip hop. But music is kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I look at music almost like sports. You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop is like basketball, football, baseball. Or even like beverages. It's like Pepsi, 7-Up. Like if you're a cola, you make a certain type of music for a certain consumer. If
Right.
you were, you know what I'm saying, 7-Up, you really, maybe you compete with cola, but you're more or less competing with Sprite. You know what I'm saying? And the clear liquids.
Right. It's
But I
different there.
yeah, so I feel like art, a part of, you know what I'm saying, what a lot of artists might not know or need, unless they have artist development, is just like what lane exactly you're in. And I think that over time, it's like a lot more different lanes in hip hop.
Do you, with being so observant and how you just broke everything down, how much are you active in like, okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of this sound, a little bit of this sound, you know what I'm saying, put that into my sound, you know?
I think, uh, I think before I changed my name to Rufus Sims, you know what I'm saying, or Weasel Sims, I was kind of like mixing trap and hip hop. So I was kind of taking from current stuff and then mixing it with some nostalgic hip hop and trying to create a wave. But in my mind, it's separate fan base unless you going through a machine on some, you know what I'm saying, bigger level moves. So I just started focusing on what was naturally coming to me, and that was people that was into bars. So I kind of started like doing my particular version of that, and it kind of changed the way I looked at beats and what beats I was rapping on, and I think it's working for me.
Do you feel like it took Chicago some time to to respect actual artists that got bars, you feel me, and that spitting? Because I feel like it was a big gap between the Kanye's, the Bump J's, and then the Chief Keef, you feel me?
Um, well, I think Chicago kind of got to be respected for spitters off the strength of, just earlier stuff, Common, Twista, Kanye. I mean, they all spitters, and um, I just think drill just is like the biggest thing, and it just kind of took over. So I think, a lot of a certain age group, and even the way the media push stuff out there is like, it seems like that's the only thing that's here.
Right.
But it's all type of forms of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's me and a set of guys, that's out here doing like, our version of Chicago, Flash Chicago hip hop. We coming with bars and style. We ain't doing drill rap, but you know what I'm saying? We understand who our music is for, and we cater to that.
Now, you spoke on the Weasel Sims and then changing your name to Rufus. Like, what influenced the change, bro? Because that's like a major change.
I think Weasel, I'm a junior, and Weasel is my dad's nickname. And for a minute, you know what I'm saying, I was really running with that, but it's like this chapter I'm coming into, I really realized, like you said earlier, like just the entrepreneur that I am and the groundwork that I laid down, and I feel like he's already created his legacy and laid it down, and he deserves to, you know what I'm saying, have that name, and he's a brand in himself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I wanted to just establish myself, you know what I'm saying, and my legacy and what I was doing, you know what I'm saying? So I felt like it was the perfect time as I was as I was growing, but right before I took this next leap, you know what I'm saying, I'm like, it's the perfect time to do it. So my last project was really about the name change and how I had to leave a lot of things behind.
Now, it's difficult for a lot of artists to basically rebrand themselves, especially with a new name. So, have you ran into any roadblocks as far as just switching your name? Because a lot of people will still see you as Weasel Sims.
I mean, I'm Weasel in a sense. It's a AKA. I had a song on my last project called "Some People Still Call Me Weasel," but for me, I left a lot of older music. I left it as Weasel. Some of the stuff I changed, like the newer stuff, that when I really been on my hip hop vibe, I changed it to Rufus. And, Rufus killing right now. Rufus is on Weasel ass. I don't know if I curse, but
Yeah, you good, bro.
Rufus came out the back, out the park swinging. So I don't know. In a sense, it's kind of a fresh start, and I think Weasel laid the path for Rufus. You know what I'm saying? All the lessons, all the setbacks, all the L's, everything I had to go through. Rufus laid the blueprint for Weasel laid the blueprint for Rufus to shine.
Yeah, man. It sound like you done did a lot of reflecting, and you like, man, it's time for me to fucking grow, man.
Yeah, and it's just like when you know you're growing and you know you gotta take the time to yourself sometimes, and it's just like it might take people some time to get used to, but they'll be able to tell the difference though.
Yeah. You briefly spoke on being incarcerated. Now, the question I would ask you is, what was the major thing you learned from, being released from jail the last time?
The main thing I learned a lot of things. I learned I didn't want to go back. You know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of conditioned to the conditions, so I could deal with them. But yeah, it's a bunch of kids in there acting wild. You had to go crazy in there, man. And then it's just the time away from your family, your kids, the setbacks. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got your stuff all the way together, it could be a starting over point. But I did learn that sometimes you do need to take the time away to shut everything out, because some of those times I came out like way better. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's okay to take a break from having sex. You know, it's less chances to smoke in a joint and do whatever. You know, and you know you get on a routine. I learned routine is like key in life, just routine and balance. So sometimes that everybody don't need to be per se in those conditions to reflect, but man, that it helped me. It's like shut all the noise out, and it helped me really look at a lot of things I need to look at.
Yeah.
And I also every time I went, I come back out with a million raps, and it's just like not being able to hear music or be influenced by everything. You can hear a little bit, you keep up, but you know what I'm saying? I come up with some of my best ideas, and you know what I'm saying? I don't be knowing until I get back. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. It's New Year 2023, man. What goals have you set for yourself this year?
I got certain short term goals. Certain places I want to go freestyle. I got it's certain platforms that I want to invite me out, or if I reach out, they come on. You know what I'm saying? And it's starting to happen, but I need to keep happening. You know what I'm saying? And I got long term. I got short term though goals of situations, and partnering with machines to make this thing bigger and move further. And I got long term goals of bigger situations. You know what I'm saying? So I know it'd be like 20 things I be doing at once, but like I said, it's just like finding balance. So I'm trying to. We in a content era. I'm loaded up with content, and I'm just trying to strategically drop it and keep further creating my situation.
Do you feel like Chicago is the place for you, you feel me, to grow as an artist? Because a lot of people feel like they got to move to reach that next level.
Yeah, I feel like I gotta move around to reach the next level. I feel like you know, Chicago. I feel like pretty much everybody know what I do here. Um, some people think it's amazing. Some people think it's whatever. But I do notice that the love I receive other places is is way more than here. You know what I'm saying? Like just on the just natural side. So it's just the opportunities. You know what I'm saying? I'd be a fool to say that it's a million opportunities here, but we've also created something here. Me and my brothers, we created something here. We created a wave of sound. So, you know, this is where we repping, and this is where we from, and we gonna keep. I really want to give back to the scene and help. You know what I'm saying? Make the scene stronger. We don't have a infrastructure or industry here, so I feel like enough cats that's, you know what I'm saying, being productive off music and making a living and getting paid off it can just, you know, give back a little bit and make our scene a little stronger.
If it was one thing that you would change about the Chicago music culture, what would it be?
It would be to have some type of institutions here, some type of managers that really care, you know what I'm saying, or managers that have like more relationships to, you know, get, you know, work with the artists that they know have certain fan base or they know are doing certain things. Like it's 20 artists here that I could name if they were in Cali or New York, they'd be signed.
Yeah.
They had some type of situation, like for real. And the labels know it's kind of. I feel like they know they know it's talent here, but they know it's not a lot of business sense here or any type of institution. We could just walk in and say, "Hey, I'm this person." Everything has to go through a gatekeeper or some person who used to rap or some person who self-anointed themselves. And don't get me wrong, there's a couple, you know what I'm saying, thorough people out here, but you know what I'm saying, it's not like other places for sure. So I think we just need some good people to create a better business culture here and relationships. We need some labels here. It should be a label here that can sign people. Big labels, they should have offices here.
Yeah.
PR companies, something, you know what I'm saying?
Are you open to signing a major record deal?
Yeah, I used to say I would stay indie, but yeah, yeah, need that bag, $2.
Yeah, I feel that.
So and I need the machine. You know what I'm saying?
I think a lot of people underestimate how hard it is to do it yourself. And that ain't even just saying independent, because like even independent artists that are out here winning, they got some form of a machine
Yeah,
behind them.
absolutely. Ain't
You
no
know what I'm
such thing
saying?
as I'm just by myself in my bed just doing it. It's like, and I can't say that. I'm not saying that can't happen, but most people got a nice machine behind them, whether it's some type of PR or agent or manager or management team. And I did a lot of things by myself. The most things I did, I had some type of team around me. You know what I'm saying? And now I have management around me, and I just see like real management, and I see the difference.
Explain that difference between having your own situation and basically being the one man army, you feel me, to getting a manager, and just I'm assuming it opens up an extra part of creativity that you become.
For sure. And it's just an extra set of trusted ears to help keep the vision aligned, keep everything on track. Um, People to create situations, so you don't always have to be, like you going in court representing yourself. You need a mouthpiece, speak for you. And you
Yeah.
come in and show up and show out. But at the same time, it's like you got to keep some form of that. Like I'm by myself, man. Say like you can't get a label situation or get a management team, whatever the case, and then get lazy or feel like now I can just do music. No, you gotta still
Stay on point, stay focused.
you gotta work for yourself.
How open or how easy, because we from Chicago, bro, and I feel like a lot of people that grow up in Chicago, it's hard to trust people, just period. You know what I'm saying? So because you said how is now you have eyes and ears of a trusted individual. You know what I'm saying? So was it difficult or was it hard to be like, okay, I'm gonna put some trust into somebody else to help me?
Um, I've trusted people before. Most have let me down, honestly, but I think the want to really grow still keep, you know what I'm saying, keep hope alive in a certain sense. But when I got around the right people, I knew it was the right people because off back they was talking different, they was moving different, and they already had certain accolades that I had never been around. So, you know what I'm saying, it was different off back.
All right, you spoke on some of your short term goals and long term goals. Musically, what can we expect from you 2023?
Um, I dropped what's the word in October. It did real well for me. A lot of curated playlists on Apple. Got an NPR write up one of the songs. Um, and it did its thing. So I still got a couple more videos coming from that, and then I got a couple decent, nice freestyles coming out, and I'm finna drop this. After Who Central, I had dropped a little 2-pack project called Too Little Too Late for Real. That was December 17th. So I think I'm gonna drop another 2-pack, 2 songs, just to get for my next full project, House Arrest. And I was on house arrest for 2 years. I created a lot of music. I kind of reestablished my buzz while I was on house arrest. Charted from the crib. So I made a project about the whole situation and you know what I'm saying, the ups and downs of the whole house arrest process that I went through. Yeah,
All right.
I got a few projects dropping this year. A couple collab projects. Me and Jay Hayes gonna drop a little people project, Coke Raps too. I got a project with Ill, one of my produced project. Logic did House Arrest. I got a project with Billionaire Bus. I don't even want to name all the projects I got. I got a lot of projects, but
They coming.
yeah, some of them already on the calendar. So I know House Arrest coming and Coke Raps 2 coming.
Let me ask you this: what do you like perform? Well, I mean, what do you like doing most? Do you like seeing somebody reaction while they listening to your music, or do you like being on that stage performing that music and seeing their reaction?
I mean, I get a high off of feeling like I made a great song. Um, it's a different high being on stage. Um, Being on stage is a crazy feeling, especially when you're rocking it. And I think it's nothing like that because it take, you know, you can win somebody over in the cop, right? Being a good artist, but it takes another element to, you know what I'm saying, make that artistry translate on stage for people who don't know you to actually lock in. You know
That's a fact.
Especially in this day and age where everybody's phone right here. So somebody actually got to put their phone down and lock in or start recording, however it may go. So that on stage thing, that's I can't even talk when I get off stage. I be on like a high. And people be out coming up to you and stuff. I just be like, in the day.
I think, well, I ain't an artist, so I'm gonna just give my opinion. I feel like a lot of artists don't understand how important that live performance is, because even nowadays, like, you have like a Rod Wave who will do a live performance where we not seeing him, but he got the live vocals. You know what I'm saying? He got somebody playing the piano, and I found myself enjoying those more than the recorded version of the song. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of artists need to put a lot more care into their on stage performance.
Yeah. People, I noticed that people like, it's one thing to do like freestyles, right? With like a recorded track playing. People like hearing you do it right there. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That shit touch different.
You know what I'm saying? Like when people go on Sway in the Morning shows, or you know what I'm saying? It's some of these platforms, they got a track playing,
Yeah.
but some of them you know they gotta perform it.
It be real vocals.
Yeah, and I think that be the one that be touching people.
Yeah, cause I don't know. Maybe it's just a raw version. I don't know how to explain that shit, but I always connect more with those versions of the song to the point I don't want to hear the original version of the song no more, bro. Put like the other day I was listening to Jay-Z Unplugged. I had to go back and just tap in with that just cause that was just so fucking cold. And I hadn't listened to that shit in probably 10 plus years, bro. But Hove Unplugged was cold, bro. Have you ever thought about doing like a project like that?
Not to now.
Hey, there you go, bro. You got, because it like I say, it people connecting and feel that shit a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
You mean like with the video?
Nah, not even the video version, just the audio version of a live performance. You feel me? As long, just like when y'all come in here, y'all do the ill styles and all that. Those live performances, you feel me? Though? Biko set that shit up. You know what I'm saying? He get the board to make it sound as good as possible, and people connect with that shit a lot more than just regular songs. You feel me?
I agree.
So shit, man, you might want to look into doing a live project, man.
I want to do a Tiny Desk, man.
Yeah.
And my song, What's the Word? With it's produced by Logic, H&IC Logic, Panamera P on there with me. It got an NPR write up. That's Tiny Desk. So
tell her, hey, bro.
Tiny Desk.
Yeah, let's make that happen.
I'm getting ready.
All right, this is my favorite question right here. If you can go back and give your younger self any advice, what would it be?
Let's stop trying to save so many people or bring so many people into your vision. Just, you know what I'm saying, focus on your grind. And it's cool to, you know what I'm saying, to definitely listen more than you talk, but don't take so many opinions to heart. You know what I'm saying? It's, focus on your vision and just lock in on that.
I feel like that was on point, because a lot of times while we doing something, we want to be validated to why we doing it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes
who are the, you know, not to say that, but as all opinionated.
Facts. And it don't matter at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Because one's opinion may be lesser than somebody else's opinion. Because somebody else's opinion might make you feel a little bit better about the shit.
His opinions based on his opinions about rhythmic feelings and emotions, but it's judged depending upon the feelings and emotions you having at the time. So, you know what I'm saying? You might play a lovey-dovey chick song for your mans. His chick just cheated on him. He don't want to hear that.
Yeah, he fucking.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't, you know what I'm saying? He don't want to hear that emotion because the personal emotions he got going on. So,
Yeah.
artists' music is opinionated. You know what I'm saying? I think it's certain standards for certain things we like. We play within them realms and bend the rules according to, you know, once you do it so long and you get to mastering your craft. But
All right, this is my last question right here. When you go back and listen to your music, you feel me? I understand you listening to it with your ears, but how have you ever listened to your music and be like, damn, bro, this is art. I literally created art.
yeah, sometimes certain joints I can't stand in here. But certain joints I be like, man, it's great. Like I be like how do I replicate this mindset? This, you know what I'm saying? The mode I was in or the mindset I was in. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a mode, and we try our best to replicate certain things, but you know.
Yeah. Sometimes, man, it just you can't do it again.
Sometimes it goes off of things you're going through at the moment.
Yeah, it was like
So
you was
I
in
hate
that zone.
re-record. I hate trying to re-record a song after we already rocking with the feel, because it'll never be right to me.
Yeah, you was in a special type of zone. All right, before we get out of here, tell the people how they can get in tune with you, stay in tune with you, find everything you got going on.
Man, Instagram's my main platform. You can get at me at Rufus _Sims _now. That's RUFUS _SIMS _now. Rufus Sims now. That's on everything. Twitter, IG, Snap, TikTok.
You got anything else you want to say to the people?
Man, House Arrest coming real soon, man. It's a movie. It's an audio movie.
Man, I want to say I appreciate you for sliding through once again.
I appreciate you.
You feel me? You definitely one of those artists that I've known for a quite long time. I got a cold ass picture of you two on a permantory stage too.
Oh yeah,
I'm finna show it to you after this shit. Yeah. But I love to see artists, you know what I'm saying? I hate to say that been through some shit, but that done got through the shit. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they go through things and they shut down on that shit, you know what I'm saying? Or they let that shit beat them, you know what I'm saying? Push them into defeat. But to see you still moving and rocking with the music, bro, and knowing that you got a bigger vision than just fucking music, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love to see artists with that shit, man. So salute to you, bro.
Man, I appreciate it, bro.
No doubt, man.
It's a non-stop grind.
Man.
It's music, it's therapy.
Facts.
So I would, I'd do it if it wasn't working, but I ain't the type person I'm the type person try to figure out why it's not working, you know what I'm saying? So,
man, once again, man, salute to you, man. This has been another episode of Conversations with Jay.